Hello?
Crimson, I need help.
Slayer, is it because of a video?
Yes. Wait, how'd you know?
You call me every time you watch a bad video. Honestly, dude, you really gotta stop doing that.
But this one is special.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I need someone to help me debunk it.
Fine, I'll be there in a minute.
Alright, I'll wait till you get here. Whoa! How'd you get here so fast?
Oh, I was in the other room.
Well, let's begin the video then. Hello there everyone, this is Slayer's Stuff.
And I'm Crimson Paladin.
And we're back with another commentary. Today, we'll be covering a video by PrtyKtty and Kurome Towa. They made a bad video.
So here are the degrees. A commentator by the name of AuthorFan97 made 3 commentaries on 3 videos. One on the video by Discount and PokeFan, one by Jonah Smith, and one by Ethelf101. Honestly, Ethelf isn't that important if we won't get into that part of the commentary, so it's best to ignore it. Then I, along with a few friends, made a commentary on those videos on a group channel by the name of the Corporation of Alternative Nitpickers, or CAN for short. Needless to say, the video bombed, and looking back, I regret taking part of it. Then PrtyKtty and Kurome covered the video. You think because they're covering a video that I admit sucks, and honestly shouldn't have been made of that quality, they should be able to do a good job with it, right?
But unfortunately, that's not the case, so let's begin the video.
And then I came back to this shit, and suddenly I have lawsuits.
All from a commentary.
My life in a nutshell.
Can I address this? Kurome, Becca, no offense, but you guys sound incredibly bored throughout the video. Not only does it affect your acting later on in the commentary, but it makes you guys sound incredibly boring.
Especially since later in this video, you try to do skits that would normally require good acting in order to pull off, and we'll get to that later on. I suggest trying to put more emotion into your voice. Also, must I mention the fact that this video has a really jarring black and white background, especially since there's no real indication as to why it's even there in the first place, and it just creates a drastic contrast between the avatar pics in the background.
Oops. Oh well, better late than never to criticize it, right?
Becca, Kurome, whoever edited this, why did you edit a disclaimer from the original video in? This may seem like a nitpick, but really, what was the point of leaving it in if it didn't contribute to anything at all?
Come on, you guys. The Pokemon League is literally right here. How slow are you? Supersonic Board, move faster. Keep running.
Jonah, you have to give me 40 bucks for using my catchphrase!
Copyright laws don't work for commentators. Try again. Anyway, we should be here by now.
Man, I feel so unprepared for this. I honestly hope teaching my elite character was worth those 4 freaking weeks.
You sure you guys ready for this level of battling? Rumor has it that the league is going to be intense this year. Well, anyway, word! Lunatic, hurry up, we're going to leave your asses!
Hey, Lunatic, think you can keep up with me? Do you even need to ask?
Sorry to cut your weird garbage short, but we're here.
Finally, can't wait to tear this league apart. Though, the big question is, what type of battles do you think we're going to be doing this year? Double? Triple? Maybe rotation?
Wait, there's a conveniently placed sign here. Let me take a look. Okay, dear Challenger, the Pokemon League's battle system has been changed. Instead of Pokemon, challengers must take on 4 commentaries before going on to face the champion. Oh, and the entry fee is $7.
Can I just put this little rant in here? You guys are got to be freaking kidding me with this. What I mean is that none of you know your shit when it comes to the freaking Pokemon League. Both games and anime just show a single person going to the league by themselves. And the battles in there are all fucking single battles. No doubles, triples, rotations. God damn it, it sounds like I listen to porno shit. And to also state you're able to have a full team of 6, so either way having 4 of whatever you guys are talking about is fucking bunk. And even if there's the slightest chance you guys are trying to put this as competitive play, the only battles there are double, which both official and unofficial tourneys. Get good.
You do realize that they said that the rules have been changed, right? That kind of implies that it's going to be different from what it normally is.
Becca, I see where you're coming from, but what made you think the league in this video is going to be the same as any games or any anime? And even then, why does it matter since it doesn't affect the video in the slightest? And also, no offense, Becca, but you might need to start working on your auto balancing, since the music is starting to drown you out a bit.
Well, since we're done with that little rant, I'd like to add in, a little complaint or two about this skit. Your line delivery is flat, boring, and unemotional. The premise is honestly not that great either, and that doesn't really make all that much sense. Not to mention, it goes on for way too long. It's just a chore to sit through. Also, in what way does Pokemon have to do with any of the following videos you're going to cover? I'd at least given this some benefit of the doubt if this was related to Pokemon, but apart from Discount's new name, I found no relevance, at all.
Let's take this piece by piece, shall we? For the line delivery point, wow, Kurome, you sure do love throwing rocks in that glass house of yours. You sound bored out of your mind throughout this thing. I'm gonna ignore the part about the intro being boring to this being subjective, and I can see where you're coming from. However, for your complaint about Pokemon, why does it matter? Regardless of how it went, us using a premise related to Pokemon by itself shouldn't be an issue. Even if it was, I had to ask, what does Rowlet and Junko have to do with prison? You must really hate that glass house of yours, huh?
Maybe he went to go get his ass.
So our target for today is Awesome Fan 1997, previously known as Halo Fan. He was a previous commentary bandwagon and he's still making content. However, it's not that good to put it lightly. So me, Supersonic War 15, Lunatic the Game, and Dark Crimson Knight are going after some of his more recent videos.
For those of you who doesn't know about his past name, it was Awesomeness45. I labeled this guy as the king of nitpicks, and I'm sticking with that.
Really, his commentaries usually seem to lack any skill, research, or a smear of effort.
Not to mention that his attention span is almost non-existent. Most points people would catch quite easily flash completely over his head as though they were never said in the first place.
Question: why did it take all four of you to summarize Halo Fan? It's one guy, not a damn history book. Becky, get over here and make an interjection. We need everyone in this video to say shit.
Okay, I'll answer this with another question. Why does this matter? Each individual person could have had their own things to say about Halo Fan. Granted, they did essentially say the same thing, but you can clearly tell that that was their intention in the first place.
Not to mention, as long as it's done correctly, the number of people introduced in the intro shouldn't be an issue, right?
Step 1. Brush the inside of your mom or dad.
Why? Why do I say anything? Why do I do anything?
Oh my god, this intro sucks so bad I can't stand it. I mean, normally I'm not the type of person to deal with intros, but due to how badly this one is, I have to make an exception.
Huh. How ironic considering how shit your intro was.
Oh, so their intro sucks. Well, it definitely doesn't help that you completely skipped over their intro. Without the intro, no one will be able to understand where you're coming from with this statement.
And to add on to that, Kurome, you mentioned your response to Jonah's commentary on this same video, that the original video is in the description.
And really, if one needs context for what we're talking about in relation to your comm, we provided the link to the quote up in the description. If you need the context that badly, it's accessible.
Well, let me tell you this, even if the original video is in the description, that doesn't change the fact there is no explanation to back up your point. Having the original video speak for itself will not only confuse new viewers on how it sucks, but will also make you look lazy. Because as the presenter, you're the one who is responsible for showing proof. It should be the job of the audience, and if that's the case, why make a commentary in the first place, right?
But Becca, hypocrisy doesn't make them wrong.
Shut up.
Okay, this is something that happened throughout the video. Becca and Kurome make many pot shots against the whole hypocrisy doesn't make you wrong argument. But here's the thing, even if our intro sucked, our complaints against Halo Fan's intro will not automatically be wrong by default because of it.
Also, this is where a problem I mentioned in the beginning really begins to show, as Kurome tries to make fun of people using the whole hypocrisy doesn't make you wrong argument, but he sounds so bored that it completely kills the joke altogether.
Now, seeing as we're going to be skipping a bit, here's some context before Slayer lives up to his name again. So Halo fans started commentating on Discount, or PrtyKtty the Weirdo, who ended up doing a commentary on Chuckbox, where she was doing a commentary on him originally, who was also doing a comm on her, basically being a back and forth for the most part, and the rest of the degrees aren't really that important, so let's just move on.
Knock knock it's Knuckles.
I hope you're all doing well. I decided to drop in and help out this little gentleman named Freaking Weirdo, or AKA Discount Commentaries.
Or AKAs, doesn't that seem just a eensy-weensy bit redundant? Because last time I checked, they basically mean the same thing. So what was even the point of saying or AKA?
The reason why she said AKA is because A, you were known as that previous name, and now you're known as your new username. So that's why she said AKA for a reason.
AKA, you missed the point. Discount wasn't arguing over that. He was simply saying what Chirp said was redundant. Not to mention you're arguing a point that was already pointless, so GG, get good. Or bad, being the villain is way cooler.
You know, you missed a freaking perfect time to debunk him. It wasn't the fact that PokeFan was complaining about bringing up his previous name. He was saying the phrase, or AKA, was being redundant, which it isn't. It was only said once this whole freaking section, and even then the or could have been a lead up into the AKA, or hell, maybe even the slip of a tongue on Chirp's part.
Okay, let's go down this one by one. First, Discount was saying that Chirp Rock's wording was redundant because or and AKA means the same thing. Second, that's not what redundant means. Redundant essentially means not being needed, not being repeated over and over. And third, even if it was a slip up on Chirp's part, that would not remove the issue of her redundant wording. In fact, it makes it worse since there's no attempt to correct it in any way.
Also, I must mention this. What was the point of giving Jonah an argument that he could have used to debunk Halo Fan? This would only work if you debunked what Jonah was saying, but since you don't, I just have to ask, what was the point? Granted, you do try to argue against something that Jonah says right afterward.
And might I add, why don't you try to explain how PokeFan's point is pointless? No, let's just say it as it is and just be done with it, okay? Explanation? Where is that? Oh wait, it said fuck this shit I'm out at the very beginning of this freaking train wreck.
But it has nothing to do with your point you're trying to argue against, so what was the point? If his point was valid to begin with, what was the point of giving him another point? Not to mention the fact that it really isn't a criticism towards the video, but rather the degree before this.
I'd start every day with Reese's Puffs, peanut butter chocolate flavor.
Fair enough, but in my original video, I never did say that anyone was a Clay hater. Not even Kablam, since Kablam is a big fan of Clay.
You know that I was referring to Kablam, right? Because surprise, surprise, I said he specifically when saying that! Jesus Christ, Chirp. Do you pay it?
Well, I won't be able to hear you say that if you didn't fast forward it. Like quick, like actually if you didn't do 2x fast forward, then I actually would hear you said that, but I didn't, because you fast forward way too quickly.
You know, this could have been a valid point. Too bad you could have easily fixed it by,
I don't know, download the original parts from the other videos and edit them in order to show them at normal speed. You have the means to do it, so why are you being so lazy? I mean, I get what you're trying to say here. I mean, and to be fair, you're right. But at the same time, if this is all you're going to say, put it in the comment section and call it a day.
And here's another thing. There's something you don't know about Awesome Fan. Chirp's original video has a decent speed up, and we was able to get the context. Discount made it worse by speeding it up while Chirp Rocks was speeding it up. You're right that Discount should have slowed down the clip, but the thing about that is that you don't even know about Chirp's video.
I mean, you're right, but you're not. Like, okay, because he didn't fix the issue means his point isn't valid? Fucking what? Also, if we're gonna play this game, you guys didn't fix this either, despite being able to do so. Does that make your points invalid too? Wait. We didn't fix this either. Does that mean our points are invalid too?
And while you're not wrong about this point, I still have something to say here, and it's similar to a problem that's been pointed out earlier. You play out a clip only to respond to the points made by me and Jonah. However, you play Sonic Wars point for no reason at all. This is a problem with the video as a whole. You're dragging out clips. You tend to play clips that are either not relevant to the point you're going to make, or you play a long section of the video without speeding it up.
Tried to help him out in the past since they did see potential in him to be a good commentator. Hell, he could have been just as good as Theological Reaper or Ryan Mills, but that didn't.
Another point where she.
Oh, so nice job right there, editing right there, mate. You told you didn't cut off in mid-sentence, and by the way, you did. You cut off in mid-sentence, so GG, learn to edit.
You know, I find it quite ironic how you cut Discount off to make your point about him cutting Chirp off. Yeah, I know the hypocrisy card is dead and shit, but look, calling his editing abilities out while doing the exact same thing not too long after makes you look really, really bad. Also, what is this? Like, really, dude? Did you have to go out of your way and call Discount a bad editor and just leave that right in there?
Haven't you all heard? A letter doesn't exist anymore. There's no you.
TP called. He said, and I quote, "Use my catchphrase again, I'ma shank you." End quote.
Also, if I may add, you guys are really making a mountain out of a molehill at this point. Yes, he cut off PokeFan when he started, but unlike what PokeFan did, HaloFan cut right back to where he stopped the video. So really, he wasn't cutting anything off.
Oh yes, it is true that HaloFan cut back to the video where he cut off, But Lunatic's point was that he cut off discount to make his point about the same problem he made. So therefore, Lunatic's point still stands. Not to mention that this doesn't debunk his point.
See, kids? This is why you watch the video and do your research before gangbanging a person over stupid shit.
God damn it, there goes him making this the world's first PG-rated commentary.
No, sir, that is factually inaccurate. Digital did it before you. Stop plagiarizing peoples.
And also, can you please start cutting out your stuttering already? I mean, you have the means to do so. So stop being lazy and stop cutting these parts out. Why? Because all this does is become distracting when you keep stuttering almost all the time. Now, I get that you can't control it, but that's why you cut this out, so that even though you know you're stuttering, we don't have to know that you're stuttering almost all the time. So please, start editing shit out that is unnecessary.
Stutters in videos? How many uses does that hypocrisy card have left again?
None. Wait, actually we had to put it out a loan on that joke. We're going into debt, Kurome.
Hey, Crimson, buddy. You guys love your hypotheticals. Let's imagine one right now. What if Halo fans stuttering is so bad or so close together that editing them out would butcher the audio to the point of not being able to be understood? Not every single person with a speech impediment could just magically edit their audio to remove said impediment.
Then at that point, Halo fans should have done retakes and edited out the stuttering then. Even then, that still doesn't remove the issue of his constant stuttering. Not to mention, this sounds like an excuse for him to keep the stutterings in. If he has these problems, what's stopping him from working around them and playing to his strength? I'm gonna answer that for you. Nothing.
But 8 weeks of Heather was about as much fun as
washing an old person. Slight nitpick, but context? Who is this Jonah Smith? What video of his are you covering? We need some information. Come on, man, this is Commentating 101. The sequel to Wizard 101 and Pirate 101. Buy it for free, because you really need it.
Well, I mean, he's only one guy, Jonah. Sorry we don't have 3 other guys with him to give out the rest of the details, like your content, sub count, and taste of coffee bars.
Okay, this is a rather weak potshot. Nowhere in the part where we explain Halo fan do they ever bring up other things about him. Just his status in the CC. In other words, this potshot debunks nothing.
And that's pretty much all that's worth covering with the video, so let's move on to final thoughts. Becca, Kurome, this video was a mess. You missed the point of what the people in the comm were saying, made some incredibly infuriating pod shots, and overall this just led to your commentary crashing and burning. I know both of you can do better than this, especially with you, Kurome. Your commentary on Sock was a good commentary, and your one shot on me helped me to get where I am now. So I hope this video could just be another mistake, and hopefully you guys can improve after this.
To respond to something you said in the beginning when you said better late than never, Kurome, I would have a problem with your criticism if for some reason you were supposed to let her know these issues before the video was uploaded, right? In that scenario, this makes this video too little, too late. The CanCom's already uploaded and were already made into jokes. If that's not bad enough, you play the hypocrisy card way too much in this video while stating we're guilty of the same thing. Practice to what you preach, buddy. That's all I'm gonna say. And Becca, no offense, but the majority of your points can either be nitpicky, non-points, or missing the point entirely. I know or want to believe you guys can do better, and regardless of how I feel about you guys in this video, I honestly hope I'm right.
So, that was fun. How do we end this off?
I have an idea. Let's make fun of the Genotic ship.
Yeah!